Hello guys, it's me again. Today we're going to work with a special book that I have, and let's begin. As you can see here in this first presentation, it says English for first grade. This is the video for May 25th, next Monday, because right now it's Wednesday 20th. Okay, so now let me switch the screen. And we're going to start working with this information right here. It says be past simple. Okay, I know you know this information. I just want to make sure that you got all the information perfect. Okay, now I'm going to use my pencil, and it says number 1, we form the past simple of be like this. Okay, was, where, was, where. As you can see here, for he, she, it, we use was, okay? And also for the first person, we use was. For the plural form, we use were right here. And for you, we use were, singular and plural right here. Okay? Now, if you remember, for the present simple, the form of be is, are, and am. This is for present simple, okay? Now, for the past simple, this is going to be changing. Instead of being is, are, and am, we're going to use only two, was and were, singular and plural. Okay, now let me erase this information right here. Okay, now let's take a look at the example. Look at these examples of how we use the past simple of be, was and were plus facts about the past, los hechos acerca del pasado. And it says John F. Kennedy was an American president. Our first house was in the center of town. Okay, and as you can see, both of them are was because we're talking about singular. One house, one person. Okay, and this is going to be equal to he, like here. Okay, now one question right here. Were your answers correct? No, they were all wrong. Okay, now because we're talking about plural form answers, many, we use were, and usually we answer the same way. No, they were all wrong. Okay, plural form, okay? And then the negative form right here, it says Olivia wasn't at the party. And this is the contraction right here, but we can use it separate. Was not. Okay, you can do it like this or use the contraction. Okay, now let's take a look at this information right here, the negative form. How do we form the negative form? We go like this. I was not. You were not. He or she or it was not. See, this is the difference between the positive and the negative, because the positive doesn't have the negative form right here. It doesn't have it. So this is positive. Okay, now let's continue right here. Full form, was not, were not, was not. The short form or the contraction is wasn't, weren't, and wasn't. Like right here, we have the short form right here. And this one right here, it's the full form, okay? We can also use was and were plus place and time. For example, we were, place, In Spain, el lugar, España. El tiempo, in June. We were in Spain in June. Another example using the singular form and negative. It will be like this. She wasn't at home. This is the place, at home. And last night, the time, el tiempo, la noche anterior, last night, okay? So we can use was and were plus facts about the past, or we can use was and were plus place and time. Okay, now let me erase everything again. Let's move a little bit right here. Questions, how do we form questions? As you can see here, we have to put the subject first and then the past simple of be. In this case, was. Okay, when we want to make questions, we just have to switch them like this. So instead of going I was, I'm going to go like this. Was I right? Were you right? Was he, she, it right? For the plural form, we're going to use were. Were we right? Were you right? Were they right? Okay, and don't forget to use the intonation about questions. Was I right? Were you right? Was he right? Okay, that's the intonation. Now over here are some examples with was and were. I was in New York last week. We were at home yesterday evening. They weren't late this morning. Question. Was it a good film? Okay, now as you can see, we have the three forms of this tense. Questions, negative, and if I go up a little bit, we have the positive form. So we have seen the three forms of this tense: positive, negative, and questions. Okay, now let me go back right here. Over here it says George and Joanna weren't in London at the weekend. They were in Brinton. Okay, in this case we are using the negative form to say that they weren't in London, and then we are using the positive form to specify or to clarify. They were in Brinton. Steve and Mary were here at 6 o'clock. Okay, plural form, two subjects, Steve and Mary, therefore we have to use were. Okay, now over here, we can also use was and were plus an adjective called tired as an example. It was cold yesterday. They were tired after the journey. The train was late again this morning. Question, were your exams easy? The first exam was easy, but the second one wasn't. As you can see, positive form, negative form. Okay, if you don't have any questions, let's continue. If you have any questions, you can always go back to the information, okay? Now it says complete the sentences using was or were. Today I'm happy, but yesterday I, because we have I right here, we have to use was. I was sad. Now this one right here. Now Jasmine is at home, but last night she on holiday. So the question is, the answer is was, because I'm talking about one singular person, in this case, a girl. Second, today it's raining, but yesterday it, singular form, therefore I have to use was. It was sunny. Number three, this year there is a jazz festival here, and last year there was a pop festival. How do I know that I have to use was? Because I'm talking about singular. Is means singular, a means singular. Remember that A means uno o una. Okay, the next one. Today, Mr. Brown is at work, but yesterday he, singular form, therefore I have to use was again. He was ill. Number 5, these days there are houses here, but 100 years ago there. Now, because I'm using the plural form and house, as you can see, it's plural, houses. Therefore, I have to use where. Number 6, today I feel fine, but yesterday I was in bed all day. 7, my mother is a manager, but now she, now because I'm talking about singular girl, singular female, I have to use was. My mother is a manager now, but she was a shop assistant last year. Number 8, today is a Sunday and we are at home, but yesterday we, plural form, therefore I have to use this one right here, we were at school. Number 9, this summer we are staying at home, but last summer we, plural form, we were in Greece. Number 10, today Tina and Jack are tired because yesterday they. Now if you take a look here, we're talking about two people. Today Tina and Jack are tired because yesterday they, this is plural form, therefore I have to use were, at the gym. Okay, good. Now let's continue. Now it says Mary spent last weekend in Madrid. Ask her some questions using the words in brackets. And, was, or were. See? So now I'm going to switch to another color. Let me see which color. Orange. We have your hotel, good. Okay, now because it's saying right here that Mary is the one that was in Madrid and it's singular, I have to use was to make a question. Remember that we have to start with the form of be in the simple past. Okay, now it says your room comfortable. Because I'm talking about a room, one, I have to go was your room comfortable. Okay, sorry about my handwriting, but and don't forget about the question mark, okay? Because if you have everything correct here, but you forgot about the question mark, you get an X, okay? But this is not the case right now because we have the question mark. So let me erase that. And then it says the weather nice. Because we're talking about the weather, it is also one thing, el clima. So I'm going to start like this. Was the weather nice? See, I'm going to start with this. Was the weather nice? And then the question mark. And then the streets, plural form, full of people. So because I have the plural form here, I have to use where. Where the streets full of people, and the question mark. Okay, see? Okay, the shops, expensive, plural form. Therefore, I have to start with this one right here. Where the shops expensive? Question mark at the end. Don't forget number 5, the city. exciting at night. Now, as you can see here, we're talking about one city, one. Therefore, I have to use was, okay? Was the city exciting at night? And then the question mark. Now, number 6, the museums, plural form. I have to start with where, sorry. Let me erase that. Come on. Where, because it's plural. See, as you can see here. Now, were the museums interesting? Question mark at the end, don't forget. Number 7, the people friendly. Now, people, you know, it's a bunch of people, right? A bunch of persons, many people, okay? But in this case, we are talking about one whole thing. Therefore, we're talking about one thing. So, we're going to start with was. Was the people friendly? Okay? People is the same as family. I mean, the meaning is different, but I'm using it as an example to explain that people is one thing, one whole thing, one. And family is also the same. I know we have a lot of family, like cousins, uncles, aunts, okay? But when we are thinking about writing it like this, making a questions, we have to think about one singular thing, okay? Now let's see the next one right here. Your flight to vuelo. I'm talking about one flight. And therefore I have to start with this also, was, because it's one flight. Was your flight okay? And then the question mark, don't forget about that, okay? So let me erase everything again and let's move a little bit more. George and Sally have been married for 50 years. They are talking about their first house. Complete their conversation using words from the box and following the model of the two examples. Okay, we have two examples. Let's take a look. New, Italian, big, green, cheap, cold, bad. Cheap means barato. Okay, now George, the house was warm. No, it wasn't. Okay, was plus not, because we're talking about a house, singular. No, it wasn't warm, comma, it was cold. Negative, negative, positive, okay? Now, George, the garden was small. No, it wasn't small, it was big. Sally, the neighbors were French. No, they, because I'm talking about many people, no, they weren't. See, the negative form, were plus not. See, were plus not, weren't. Okay, now, the living room was red. No, it wasn't, because I'm talking about one living room. Okay, no, it wasn't, comma, it was let's say a different color, white. Okay, because I'm specifying that it wasn't red, it was white. Okay, our first chairs were expensive. No, they weren't, because I'm talking about many chairs. No, they weren't. Like that. No, they weren't expensive. Expensive, okay, comma, I'm going to say that they were cheap, okay? Now the next one, the kitchen was old. No, it wasn't old. I have to say that the kitchen was new, okay? Now you continue answering the rest of these blank spaces in your house. It's very easy. Do it as a practice. It is not homework, just practice, okay? Now, complete this conversation with was, wasn't, were, or weren't. And it's going to be very easy because Peter was Paul at work today. How do I know that I have to use was? Because I'm talking about one person, singular. No, he, because it's the negative form, I know that I have to use was plus not. And the short form is wasn't. Now, Henry, you in South America last year, because I'm talking about one, actually I'm using you. I have to use where, okay? You were, and I'm gonna show you why, okay? Now let's go back to, I went too far, sorry guys. Nah, I went too far. Okay, here, no, this one right here. For you, I have to use where. See right here, you were. You were not, okay? So now I'm going back over here. Okay, I'm going to erase that. Now I'm going to change color. I'm going to use yellow. Yellow, okay. Where? Were you in South America last year? Yes, I was. Okay, because now I'm using I. I was in Bolivia on business. And then my wife and I, again, I'm using why. But I'm talking about two people, wife and I. Therefore, it's plural form. I have to use where. In Brazil for a holiday. Now, Rafael and I, plural form, two people, one and two. Rafael and I were at home in London last week. We were at Mike's house in Cornwall. It was lovely there. Do you know Mike? Okay, now if you pay attention here in this one, it says we were at Mike's house. Therefore, this has to be negative to make sense. Rafael and I weren't at home in London last week. We were at Mike's house, okay? See? Okay, now the last one. Jasmine, it says, yes, I was at Mike's party in Oxford in the summer. Question, were you there? No, we weren't there. Rafael and I, one and two, plural form, were in Portugal in the summer. See? Okay, hopefully you guys understand the whole thing right here. Now, this is important because we have been working with this information very little. Past simple. Now we're going to talk about regular and irregular. We form the past simple of regular verbs by adding ed to the verbs. See? Walk, walked. Open, opened. Watch, watched. Ask, asked. See? Regular verbs end with ed. Let me see if we have irregular. Yes, right here. Irregular verbs. They changed. It's not like regular. This is irregular. So present simple, do. Simple past, did. Take, took. Come, came. Find, found. Go, went. Okay? You know this information already. I just want to make sure you understand. Okay? Now, I want you guys to do this activity in your house. Okay? Right here. You need to put a check mark for the correct spelling. For example, what is correct? And in the case of top, this is incorrect. What is the correct form? Took, because it's an irregular verb. Drank, is this correct or not? Yes, it's correct. Gave is correct. Meet or met. Actually, meet is present, met past. So it's correct. Won, it's also correct. Leave, this is incorrect. Left, this is the correct form. This is an F, left. Okay, so this is what you have to do. You just have to put a check mark or take a look at it and choose the ones that are incorrect. And if you have any questions about this, we can go through again during virtual class. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the rest of the information right here. Complete the sentences using past simple form and words in brackets. Okay, you are going to use these verbs. Just make sure that you are using the correct form. Okay, right here is the same activity. Make sure you have the correct verb, the correct form, the correct spelling. Okay, and we're going to go through this information next virtual class. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video right now. I think it's enough. So see you guys next virtual class.